Hey, y'all. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Welcome in the building. I'm glad to see y'all here hanging out with me. Now, y'all know the routine. If you in the building, don't cheat the diva. Hit the like button, okay? Show me some love. Hit the like button. That's your ticket on this train ride. Listen, we got a ride tonight, and the title is called The Price We Pay. The Price We Pay. And that's tonight's live. The Price We Pay. Hold on one second. I got this little tray back here behind me. The Price We Pay. Okay. That's the title tonight. The Price We Pay. So one story we're going to talk about is Lil Nas. He got hit with 4 felony charges, and that could cost him years in jail. If found guilty, listen, I feel for him. And the reason why I feel for him, because obviously he's going through some type of crisis. Nobody in their right mind, and listen, celebs love to pull stunts these days. But I don't think this was a stunt at all. This was a crisis that he was in, and he's paying the price. Walking down the street with just his underwear and cowboy boots on. Then at one point he stripped down to nothing. And then after he stripped down to nothing, by that time the cops was there and they said he assaulted police officers. So that's where the 3 felony counts is coming in. It's sad. The price we pay. And it's not just the entertainment industry, but it seems like it's really like just everywhere in the entertainment industry. So many good artists are being taken down by the substances. It's very sad. And it's like they love to do the most in the aftermath. When Matthew Perry died, they searched for everybody. They arrested all of those people. The people did plea deals. They're going to do a whole lot of time. But why not do it before you get to the point where you have to bury somebody? He's in an obvious crisis. And the answer y'all think is to charge him with 4 felony charges? We're going to talk about it. Then we got Tyreek Hill. I think he was married to his wife for 17 months. And talking about the price we pay, he paying the price. Tyreek had a lot of baby mamas, if I'm not mistaken, before he married this chick. And if I'm not mistaken, one of them somebody was pregnant when he was about to marry the girl. I think he had like 3 or 4 babies or something on the way. It was something crazy like that. And I said to myself, why would she even marry him? Why would she get herself involved with somebody that at a very young age already got baby mama after baby mama after baby mama? Then next thing you know, she's filing for divorce. But I said, whoa. I see why she did it. I see why she got involved. Because 17 months later, it's like she hit the lotto. He had to give her $500,000 up front. Boom. He got to pay, I think they said $20,000 to $30,000 a month. She got the home that they lived in. And he still has to pay the mortgage, the insurance, the this, the that. She hit the lotto. 17 months later, in a baby. We're going to talk about it. But you know what? These athletes, these entertainers, they don't get it at all. They want to sling their stuff everywhere, leave their seed everywhere. Well, that's the price they got to pay. A major portion of his salary is going to somebody that he spent 18 months in married to, I guess, not so blissful. Now he got to pay. And there's a New York housing crisis. They said the eviction rate in New York is out of the roof. It's crazy. A lot of people in New York getting evicted with no place to go. Sad. But we're going to talk about it. Tonight's title, like I said, is The Price We Pay. Y'all know the routine. What do I need in the chat? Because I need to bring the people in the building. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday Night Trending Topics, and we got stuff to talk about. It's called The Price We Pay. Lil Nas, he did bail out. His bail was $75K. His dad was there saying just pray for him, not confirming or denying any diagnosis or any situation, just said pray for him. He did a plea. He pled not guilty when he was in court. We're going to see how this pans out. Tyreek Hill and the New York housing crisis. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, Julius.
Hey, y'all. Hit the like button for the diva. Choo-choo, baby.
Thank you. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva. Hey,
Diva. Hey, panel. Hey, chat.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get right into this story. Let me go ahead and share screen. Hold on one second, because the light is shining in my face. I got to turn it around a little bit. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me fix the studio for a second. All right. I hope that helped me out. The light being right in my face. I can't have it right in my face, but y'all need to have some light so y'all can see me. All right. So let's get right into, let's do this Lil Nas story. That's what I'll do first. Let's do Lil Nas. Let's do Lil Nas. Let's see if
he's going to get the help that he needs, and just keep him in your prayers. You know, give him the same grace and mercy that God give everyone.
Sir, what kind of help?
For the fans that love him and adore him, is his dad said, pray for him, think about him, root for him, cheer him on, and don't forget all the success that he had, and just don't judge somebody by the worst moment in their life.
Right now, there's nothing in the record that drugs were even a part of this. And so this is just an aberrant episode and an otherwise productive life. To call his life productive, I think, would be an understatement. I think it's a remarkable life.
So, Mr. Hill, do you understand and accept those conditions?
Yes. He's very remorseful for what happened, you know, but it can happen in any family, you know. He's going to get the help that he needs, and just keep him in your prayers, you know. Give him the same grace and mercy that God give everyone.
Sir, what kind of help?
For the fans.
So now they're saying drugs wasn't involved. So what exactly happened? So he pled not guilty to felony charges. Bail was set at $75K, and he is currently out. So let me go ahead. Let me stop sharing this, and I'll share screen again. Let me see. I think this is it. So, Lil Nas X, a taser was used during arrest. Pete police scan or audio. So let's take a listen.
Units 415 man, Linkersham and Ventura, Suspect last seen walking towards Universal. Suspect male black, completely nude, walking in the middle of the road. It's code 3, incident 0793, RD 1585. Hollywood unit to handle identify. 1585, that's related. I'll put in your spot.
You on Ventura Boulevard. For 1990.
1986, watch 4, so overtime. Unit in the vicinity, 15839 is requesting a backup area supervisor Ventura east of Linkersham on a 415 Mad News running to the officers.
40 responding. 143, code 3 for the health station. Can we get a supervisor? Use force. 4 in custody.
Oh, God.
You show code 4.
All units go for Ventura east of Linkersham. 1583, 15L40s around. 15L40, they're requesting for a use of force. 5123.
Roger. 1 Kingston, the backup on my screen.
1521, roger.
1583, get RA. For a male, approximately 40 years of age.
You guys know my
Conscious and breathing.
God.
You can hear it faintly in the background, like the sound of a taser, but it's very hard to hear, but you can hear it a little bit. So police scanner audio from the Lil Nas X arrest in Studio City is shedding more light on his interaction with police, and it sounds like cops deployed a taser. We listened to the audio. Police dispatchers heard saying a black male is walking towards Universal Studios in the middle of the street, completely nude. Hold on 1 second. Just give me a minute. So we looked at that already. Let me see. I'm sorry, my screen keeps jumping there. So
here we go. New client.
The first videos that was showed, he was walking down. He at least still had on his underclothes, like his underwear and his cowboy boots. But then later on, he
has had on me. The values instilled in me by my parents has shaped my character.
Cause my money ain't. Let me get this straight. Wait, I'm the rookie? But my features and my shows 10 times to pay. 50K for a verse, no album out.
It has had on me. The values instilled in me by my parents has shaped my character.
Cause my money ain't. Let me get this straight. Wait, I'm the rookie? But my features and my shows 10 times to pay. 50K for a verse, no album out.
So by the time the cops, because
here we go,
called in by several people, by the time the cops got to him, he was completely nude. So police claimed the man later identified as Nas was running towards officers, and then you can hear the apparent sound of a taser gun being fired. It's unclear if Nas was struck by the taser.
Here we go. New client.
Police scanner audio also reveals officer called for a helicopter, a supervisor, and requested use of force.
Hearing with the defendant is Christine O'Connor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Ruby for the people. I would just pause to both sides. I believe I observed as did thousands of others what led up to his arrest. I did not observe the arrest. Apparently there was nothing filed on the events that of the defendant's actions prior to the police arrival. Mr. Hill, you have a right to a speedy preliminary hearing within 10 court days of today, 60 calendar days. Do you understand and give up that right? Your case could be set for preliminary hearing setting on September 15th, with the understanding that any preliminary hearing occurred within 10 court days of that day?
Yes.
The scheduled bail for these charges is $300,000.
He has no prior convictions or failures to appear.
That's correct.
Do you want to be heard as
I would. Thank you, Your Honor. We'll be requesting an OR bond today. Everybody agrees that a bond of some sort that Mr. Hill should be released from custody today. The question is what conditions are necessary to ensure his appearance and the safety of the community. But first, I'll address ties to the community. Mr. Hill owns a home just miles from this courthouse, and he has owned it for 4 or 5 years now. This is where he's made his life. His business dealings are all here. He records music in Los Angeles. His entire management team is in Los Angeles. So he has the support of his management team here. And in the courtroom today are members of Mr. Hill's family. They were here ready to support him with everything he needs upon his release. Mr. Hill is not a flight risk, Your Honor. And as to danger, before the court is a 26-year-old man with no prior criminal history, no history of violence. This man has never so much as gotten in a schoolyard scuffle. Assuming the allegations here are true, this is an absolute aberration in this person's life. Nothing like this has ever happened to him, Your Honor.
Has he ever involved himself in drug-related programs?
He has not, Your Honor, and I actually know of no evidence that drugs were involved in this.
Well, the police report indicates so. Police report said he was sent to the hospital with a possible overdose.
That's correct, Your Honor, but we just don't know whether that was actually factually accurate or just some officer's hunch that was uncorroborated. We don't know what happened. I'm assuming they drew blood or tested him, so at some point we'll find out, but right now there's nothing in the record that drugs were even a part of this. And so this is just an aberrant episode and an otherwise productive life. To call this life productive, I think, would be an understatement. I think it's a remarkable life of extraordinary accomplishments. He's an artist who creates music that resonates with millions of people. He's won 2 Grammy Awards and countless other awards. I couldn't even tell you what they are. Time Magazine named him as one of the 100 most influential people a couple years ago. So this is a person who's a pillar of the community. And as cliche as that sounds, it's true for this person. I think an OR bond is absolutely appropriate here.
The money bail is appropriate. We're going to set bail at $75,000. And if he makes that bail, he's ordered to not own, use, or possess any illegal narcotics, attend 4 NA meetings per week, or enroll in outpatient drug program. So, Mr. Hill, do you understand and accept those conditions?
Yes.
So be in Department 112 on September 15th at 8:30 in the morning.
Super sad. Let me see where I'm at. Hold on one second.
Here we go. New client, be a great lawyer, be present, get case details, set up case, track time, wrap up meeting, send
Sorry, guys. Okay. Police scanner audio also reveals officers called for a helicopter supervisor and requested the use of force. Cops ultimately called for a rescue ambulance for a male approximately 40 years of age. Now, who guessed this 26-year-old was 40, who is conscious and breathing? The call went out at 6:05 a.m. Thursday morning, not long after Nas was on video walking naked along Ventura Boulevard. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hotchman says Lil Nas X allegedly assaulted the responding officers who tried to take him into custody, injuring at least 3 cops, and he's been hit with 4 felony charges. Nas spent the weekend in jail, pled not guilty Monday, and he has since been released from custody after posting a $75,000 bail. Let's just take a breathing.
Hey, Lil Nas, how are you doing? How are you holding up?
I feel for him. He's only 26. It's a sad story. In his mind, it would have nothing to do with drugs, but something happened and something is amiss and something's not right. Julius, your thoughts?
One thing I have to say, his attorney was on her game. She had those glasses bent like Miss Westlake not playing. If anybody remembers that Miss Westlake, Theo's teacher from the Cosby Show, when she bent those glasses, honey. Listen, she wasn't playing. She's like, Your Honor, what substance is this? We haven't been given that. We're not able to tell that. He hasn't even been violent. Why should he be remanded? Why is that? Listen, she was on her game. Okay. Didn't miss a beat. Because they was trying to keep him behind bars, okay? If substances were not in his system, then he had a major mental psychological episode. And he may be going through something. I don't know what that is. I do not know this man. But I will say this. I'm sending him good energy. That he takes this as a learning lesson. Because I want to make it clear. He was not being violent. He was not being violent. And he was going through something. So I'm going to send him some good energy. I am hoping that he takes this as a learning lesson that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. And I'm praying for him. That's it.
Yeah. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not a fan of this person here. I don't enjoy his music. I don't appreciate his stunts. And clearly he's going through something. I'm surprised that they're saying that substances are not a cause of it, or toxicology report hasn't come back or whatever. But I thought part of his sentencing or deal plea was that he has to attend NA. And he got charged with three counts of felony against a police officer. So obviously he was striking back, hitting a police officer or resisting an officer. So I don't know. I'm glad that he is going to be getting some help, because no one should be, it's just like with the whole Sean Combs thing. Although he is paying the price for his freedom, but he is more than likely getting some help from the substances that crippled him for so long and controlled his life and desires. I think this person, this young man, has been on a destructive path for years. I think he uses a lot of sensationalism to gain fame and notoriety. I'm just not a fan of his. It's unfortunate, but I'm glad that he's going to be getting some help. But the people that are around him, he needs to really change his circle, his village, because obviously they're not looking out for him. And he needs some people that are going to tell him no every now and then. Because sooner or later he's gonna, do something that he might pay the ultimate price for. Because these substances are not like back in the day. They're all coming with something, additives and all types of stuff. So he's just the latest of celebrities that have taken something, in my opinion, that really has him acting out in this type of behavior. But I'm not a fan of this person, this artist. So, but I'm glad that he'll be getting some help.
Yeah, listen, I'm not a fan of his antics. I'm not a fan of like when I love Old Town Road. Love that song. Okay. So I really liked him when he first came out and that song came out or whatever. And then he went to this extreme dark place, in my opinion, right? Just satanic stuff, just playing with the devil. It just got a little bit too much for me. But he's 26. And as we seen by the Diddy trial and just so many other things, there's dark things in life, period. But the entertainment industry seems to be extremely dark and full of probably every type of predator known to mankind. On that note, I'm not willing to throw the man away in the trash. And I'm not saying that anybody on this panel is, but I'm not willing to throw him in the trash. And it broke my heart when he turned away and was crying when he learned that his family was in the courtroom to support him. I also heard, I couldn't find out when I was trying to research, but someone told me that his mother had a very bad substance habit. And that he put his mother through rehab a few times. That is not confirmed, but that's what I was told, and I was trying to research that. So imagine, listen, y'all know me in the words increase matter. Y'all got to help me out, okay? So it just, I just, when you come from a background where, well, let me add this too. Also, when you grew up, and I don't know how he grew up, but when you grow up with no money, I'm just say that, and then you're propelled at a young age into all this fame and fortune, that's something that you have to learn how to deal with too. So I'm hoping that this unfortunate situation is going to turn him around and he will get the help that he needs, because I don't think the judge would order you to have drug rehab and go to all these programs and in drugs is not involved. So denial is a beast too. So I don't know. It's a lot going on here. Oh, it's true, Diva. He put his mother through rehab twice. Yeah, so I'm feeling for him. That's all I can say right now. Wayne, your thoughts?
I can't imagine somebody just in their right mind doing something like that.
Right.
And no drugs involved. But on the other hand, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's easier to charge him with felonies and say he wasn't on substances rather than say he was on substances and maybe that caused it. Felonies is, I believe, intentional, and you doing this with a clear mind. If he was on drugs, I can see why if he would do this, but how are you going to charge him with a felony? I mean, 4 felonies at that. It's not even a violent man. So I think it was like, okay, we don't want to charge him with, any drugs. Because we charge him with drugs, we can't slap these felonies on him. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not, he's an artist. He do crazy things. Hell, Lady Gaga came out on the stage in the egg. I mean, you don't know who these people's managers are, what they want them to do, what they tell them says, hey, this is gonna sell albums. The pressure he's under at 26 years old. How many 26 years old they have access to that kind of money? Do we even know? So I'm giving him a break. I mean, look, he got a clean record, and the lawyer did what she was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to tell the judge all of that. He wasn't a flight risk. He hasn't been a problem to anybody. So it wasn't like she had to build up to make this guy look like a good person. He just had a moment, something happened, We don't know what happened, but I'm not going to discard him. That's it.
Yeah, Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay, Train, don't get mad with me. But sometimes when you mock Jesus and play with the devil come and collect. And he's not going to tell you how he's going to collect. Because you walking up down that street, you was on something. And I think that all substances are related to something nefarious or evil. Because when it takes from you, it doesn't give you anything but a few moments of pleasure that you got to keep finding and keep finding and keep finding. Now, the videos he's done, most of them mock Jesus. I don't know about nobody else's religion. But the ones that I've seen, he always marking Jesus. And like I said, when you play with the devil sometimes come back and collect. Hopefully, he's young enough to change his ways, to get help. If he's going through something, reach out, let these people know. Look, my management team, you see, what was his management team that night? Nobody was around. And like, who filming him? And why didn't they just call the police at that point instead of running down the road filming him? And then he got out the drawers and out the boots and walking down the road. Now, I can't see anybody sane or anybody that's not on something doing that. And the way he was walking towards the police didn't know because he was coming towards them aggressively. We saw that. But the thing of it is, the one thing that he did get, he didn't get pow-powed. They pulled the taser. So that was a good thing for him. Yeah, he getting out of jail or whatsoever, but the judge told him to go to NA. NA, we already know, it's Narcotics Anonymous. So something came back in that blood work, because when they pulled him, I guarantee you they did blood work and everything on him. But hopefully and sincerely, he would get help and stop marking Jesus. But that's all I got.
Yeah, it's, I feel for him, and I do hope that he gets the help that he needs. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to roll into this next story. And do me a favor, everybody mute, so I won't get feedback until I come to you again. And please, guys, hit the like button. Help the diva out. Hit the like button. So I'm going to go ahead and roll into this next story. We might as well do this. Tyreek Hill, paying the price, married for 2.2 seconds, and he got to shell out the dollars. Let's take a look. Hold on 1 second. Think it's coming through. All right, there we go. So NFL superstar Tyreek Hill is forced to pay eye-popping figure to X for their disastrous 17-month marriage. 17 months later, and you hit the jackpot. So NFL Tyreek Hill is used to racking up big numbers on the field, but the stats involved in the wide out divorce proceedings are every bit as eye-popping. Hill's 15-month marriage to Keeta has become a pricey fumble for the 8-time Pro Bowler who's about to start his 4th season with the Dolphins. He's paying his estranged wife between $20,000 and $50,000 per month in spending money, on top of one-off check for $500,000, according to court filings obtained exclusively by Daily Mail. She's getting a further $457,517 towards her legal fees, $100,000 to spend on a new car, and an exclusive use of their former marital home, a $5.5 million waterfront condo in Miami, with Hill picking up the tab for the mortgage, insurance, utilities, and internet. The astronomical sums are simply to maintain the status quo while the bickering pair duke it out in a divorce court, and have nothing to do with the eventual settlement, which could run into millions. Fitness influencer, his wife, 29, filed for divorce on April 7th, a day after police responded to reports of an assault in progress at the couple's 35th floor apartment. That's those two in better days. Hall Hill hurled the laptop onto the floor and was aggressive and impulsive, according to his ex-wife, mother. Well, his soon-to-be ex-wife's mother. But cops determined that no crime was committed by the $30 million per year contract player. An astonishing 133 court documents have been submitted since then as the pair battle over spousal support and custody of their 7-month-old daughter, Capri. Hill, nicknamed Cheetah because of his blistering speed, scored some relief last week when Judge Spencer blocked some of her costliest demands. She wanted to keep using Hill's luxurious Bentley SUV worth more than $200,000, but was told to find a new car instead and bill the athlete for $100,000. The judge told Hill to keep paying all debts, taxes, insurance, utilities, and internet associated with the marital condo, as well as health insurance for his wife and daughter. But his August 15th order nixed her demand for the return of her debit card and access to Hill's bank accounts. A previous hearing heard had the Super Bowl winner cancel the card after the mom of one used it to pay off debts. The wife testified that she was provided between $20,000 and $50,000 per month in spending money via the husband's debit card. She is seeking $50,000 per month in status quo spending, wrote the judge. The testimony also revealed that in early July 2025, the husband gave the wife a check for $500,000 to do what she pleased, paid personal expenses or legal fees. He has also offered to give her an additional $100,000 to secure a vehicle and has agreed to temporarily maintain her in the exclusive condominium they once shared. The wife testified consistent with her husband that after the parties separated, she paid off her student loans with the husband's debit card. The husband testified that the expenditure along with the wife's transfer of debit card funds to her mother prompted him to restrict the wife's access to the debit cards. She was also ordered to slash her legal fees after the judge pointed out that her divorce lawyer, Evan Marks and Carolyn West, were charging more than the court considered reasonable. With reduced hourly rates factored in, he said Hill owed his wife about $500,000 to level the playing field instead of the millions she requested. He told the wife to take it out of the $500,000 one-time payment she got from Hill, a decision her lawyers urged him to reconsider on August 18th response. And that's the thing right there. Hold on one second, guys. She was giving the mama some of that money too. So relationship drama is nothing new to Hill, who filed for divorce just 2 months after marrying her in November 2023 after a long on-again, off-again engagement. He immediately declared it was an error and said he had fired members of his legal team for submitting the paperwork without his authorization. He probably would have been better off going through it at that time. The star athlete has been dogged by controversies dating back to 2014 when he was kicked off the team at Oklahoma State and received 3 years probation for choking ex-fiancée Crystal while she was pregnant with their first son. The man is problematic. In 2019, he was suspended by Kansas City, his former team, over alleged child abuse allegations, but was reinstated after he pleaded his innocence, and district attorney determined there was insufficient evidence to prove he had broken, oh my God, he has broken his little son's arm. This is not good. More recently, Hill said to have had as many as 10 kids, has been ensnared in paternity battles with multiple women. He's also fighting a lawsuit filed by plus-size influencer Sophie Hall, who says he broke her leg during a practice football scrimmage in his backyard. Last year, Hill was hauled from a McLaren supercar and bundled to the ground in a September 8 traffic stop that was caught on shocking police body cam footage outside Hard Rock Stadium. He was cleared of careless driving and failing to wear a seatbelt when the officers involved failed to show up in court. This man is problematic. And when you hear about the whole baby Emmanuel situation, and to know he was accused of allegedly breaking his son's arm, this is sad. Julius, your thoughts?
He problematic. Like, ooh, Lord. And this situation is messy. But he problematic. The red flag, your baby's arm. Now I understand his child must be like a toddler, right?
That child that they was talking about at the time, I believe so, yes.
Their bones are still fairly sensitive. And the fact that that child's arm is broken, that's it.
Savannah, your thoughts?
Tyreek has been a problem for, I don't know, maybe about a decade now. Since college, he has had DV issues against women. It is true he has about 8 to 10 kids. I know one child was proven not to be his. But I always side eye these women because they know who he is, how he is, what he does, and they still line up to get pregnant and have a man and gain a security check from him, to include this woman here, because she was in the picture when he had those 4 kids in 1 year. So she ain't going nowhere. She knew that he wasn't gonna change. This is who he is. He's a ticking time bomb. He's always been like this. I'm mad that the Dolphins won't trade him. I don't know why we can't get rid of him. It's hard to root for him on the field when this is the type of person he is on the streets. Um, yes, the baby did get hurt, but that was it was both of them. This woman is just as guilty in the DV incidents as he is, because no matter, she stayed there, she came back. Mom brought her back. Mom was there. Patching up her, covering her bruises, and then we'll bring her right back to him. And she would stay with him just to live a certain lifestyle. And it's just absolutely disgusting. I'm so sick of him and her, and he's already has another one, another girlfriend or wife, or no, it's a girlfriend. Um, it's just they're both problematic. This Tyreek is going to continue doing him, having children, and just disregarding women altogether. But this woman is not innocent. She is just as complicit in the DB. And like you said, Diva, the looking at the Emmanuel case where the mother was complicit and turned a blind eye to her child being beat. This mother is just as complicit. The mother, not the wife, the mother knew her daughter was being beat, grandbaby there, and she continued to bring her daughter back home and work, tell her to patch up her marriage and work on it with him, knowing that he was a monster. So I don't have. Maybe I'm off tonight. I'm not being sympathetic. I have no. I'm not feeling sorry for any of them.
No, this is crazy. He got too much history. That's negative history, and it's sad. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with Savannah. And this remind me of Ike and Tina when she was telling her mom how Ike was. Listen, girl, you got yourself a good man. So, in pushing her daughter to be with this man, and this mom, like Savannah said, she covering up the bruises and staying at the house and stuff so they can live that lifestyle. Because she wasn't thinking about her child. Because she was thinking about her child, she would have said, "This is not going to happen. You're not going to put your hands on my child ever again. We're gone." But these people want this money. Like, nobody want to live a stressful life. Being broke is not fun. But I'd rather be broke than have my head banged between the washer and the dryer, to have my child seeing me being beat up, to have my child arm being broken, and to come back to it. See, like we say, Diva, you attract the energy that you are. And when Savannah said this woman is with the DV2, that's the energy that he's attracting. And there he's never going to stop because they look at him as a big time football player. And if I was the girl, I'd take all his money. All the women take all his money because people like that doesn't listen. They think they got enough money to last them throughout the years or throughout their career because the people are using them like mules. You getting banged up on the football field, and when you can't do anything else, they send you out to pasture. You have like these CT things going on and everything. So if he that stupid to keep going with these women and getting babies and marrying, and they take his money, then it's on him because he's just a total nut. But that's all I got.
Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, I don't have any empathy for this man. It's shameful that he would go out and have this many children. Okay, not saying he can't take care of them, but children pretty much need you 24/7. He don't have that kind of time to give to children. The women are just as bad. It's shameful that they would go out and lay with a man that got several children, and you're really doing it just for a paycheck. And I gotta say, for a 17-month investment and get that, that's pretty good. He's set. If he ever go broke, she gonna still be set. He should be the poster, NFL poster man for this is what happens when you do this. All that money you're getting, now it's got to be trickled down to all these kids and all these families that he has. God forbid if he ever gets injured. So yeah, I have no empathy for this man. You know, he did it to himself. He asked for it on a gold platter, but they served it up on a platinum platter. That's it.
Whew, very sad, very sad. I'm gonna go ahead and roll into this last story. And you know, just to back
Diva,
up
real quick, I apologize.
You're fine.
So she, you know, she got 17 months and she got a nice check from this, but at the price that she paid by constantly being beat, ridiculed, STDs, until I don't think that's even worth the price to pay for whatever she got. I don't know, because Tyreek don't pay anybody. He's so far behind in child support. So good luck if she gets it. But she sold her values and morals for, I don't know, whatever she got from, or she's going to get from Tyreek. So I don't think this is a win-win for her.
No, it's a lose-lose. I definitely wouldn't have signed up for it. But I was thinking, because he had a bunch of kids when she met him and when she got with him. And people was asking, like, why are you marrying this man? So I really feel like now, you know, with this marriage being, because whatever has happened to her during that 17 months of marriage, it happened to her before. So before they even got married. And listen, it was problematic because 2 months later, somebody in your team made a mistake and filed paperwork for divorce. How would they even get the paperwork? You had to have signed something. So this is just, she really sold her soul to the devil over some money. People have got to stop this thing with money. And yes, we need money to live. And nobody, I don't think that nobody ever signed up, raise their hand like, I want to be broke. But you can make your own money and have a decent life. But you see how her focus was, this man was putting his hands on you, allegedly, acting a whole fool, being crazy around you, your baby, and your mother. And your concern in court is you want to continue to drive his Rolls Royce. Listen, You got to pay off your student loans. You got a $500,000 check. The lawyers was beating you upside the head because they wanted to get him to pay for it. And for a judge to sit there and say that the lawyers is charging excessively, that's insane. That's insane. And so now the $500,000 check that you got from him, the judge said, pay your lawyers with that. Since you want to be reckless and don't care what them lawyers are charging because it wasn't going to be your money, now you got a check for $500K and the judge so you figure it out with that. Pay your $1 million lawyer with that. Go ahead, Savannah.
So is that all she got was the 500?
That's for right now.
Monthly?
That's for right now. And she's getting like either 20 to 50K a month. She's getting to stay in a condo. He has to pay for everything. But that's for right now until they settle and figure out what the final divorce decree is going to be. But for right now, as temporary support, she's getting that because he ended up cutting off her debit card because she was giving the mama money. You see, so then you had that. That's why the mother kept sending her back to him. The mother kept sending her back because she was more concerned about being in a lifestyle too. These mothers need to get a hold of them. You want to send your child, and your child could have been unalived. And all for what? So y'all could drive around in a Rolls Royce and say y'all live in this expensive condo with the doorman and all of that? Come on now, you that's just stupid. And as a mother, you reckless and you shameful. Let me go ahead and roll into the last story. And the last story is, in New York City. First of all, I think we when we talked about it the other day about Section 8 and all that, it's just expensive to live everywhere, period. But now they're saying, let me just go back here. Monthly evictions in New York City have reached their highest rate since 2018, with one borough hit the hardest. Evicted New Yorkers are getting the boot at rates not seen in years. New York City marshals are averaging 1,500 evictions a month this year. The last time this many locks were changed was in 2018, when marshals carried out roughly 1,666 monthly evictions. That's a rough job, and that's sad. So at least 11,253 households across the 5 boroughs were evicted by marshals between January 1 and August 15th of this year. According to the data from the New York City's Department of Investigation, evictions previously slowed down during the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent eviction freeze, but rates have been on the rise since 2022, with the memorandum was lifted. Eviction proceedings can take months or even years, and less than 10% of landlords actually get the formal go-ahead from a judge to kick their tenants out. Although completed evictions are up, the number of cases filed by landlords has actually decreased. Initiated proceedings dropped from 10,500 per month in 2024 to 9,531 per month this year, according to state court data. Landlords like Ann attributed this year's uptick to understaffed housing courts making progress on backlog pandemic era cases. She also a spokesperson for the group Small Property Owners of New York called evictions a last resort. Everyone wants to live harmoniously, but we need the revenue to run the properties, she's told them. Increased activity in New York housing courts are keeping the city's 29 marshals busy. City marshal officials hired by landlords to carry out the grunt work of evictions take in nearly $20.5 million last year, according to a revenue report. The combined profit was up from $19.5 million in 2023 and $14 million in 2019. Evictions are carried out across all 5 boroughs, although the majority of cases filed since 2021 have been concentrated in the Bronx. More than 9% of households in the Bronx received court notices last year. The increased rate of evictions comes at the same time that the pace of net job growth in New York City has all but ceased, the New York Times recently reported. The Robin Hood Foundation warned last month that 1 in 4 low-income New Yorkers can't cover their rent. For a lot of renters, they don't have much in the way of personal savings, and one missed paycheck, a layoff, an unexpected expense can be the precipitating factor for an eviction case. Peter Hepburn of Princeton University's eviction lab told the publication. Experts say safety nets for tenants, like the city's Right to Counsel program, have helped keep New Yorkers in their homes, but protections can be uneven and programs remain understaffed. It's very sad because they are correct. Not too many people have too much savings or too much wiggle room. One missed check, one bad situation, and they could get behind on their rent. And then the next thing you know, they can get evicted. Julius, what are your thoughts?
Times is hard.
Mm.
Some of these establishments are charging an arm and a leg, and it's not even worth it. Busted pipes, leaky ceilings, faulty kitchen appliances. Some people come out of pocket making repairs themselves, but they want to charge an arm and a leg. And it's not just NYC, that's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But NYC, they always been greedy. They're ultrally greedy. And it's, unfortunately, it's just a shame. But I do think it needs to end.
Thank you, Julius. Savannah, your thoughts?
And this is a story where I wish Felicia was here. And I recall the conversation she had with us last week about when we had the debate on the Section 8 voucher, how the prices in New York have doubled, in some places tripled, and for barely 700 square feet of a living space. And Julius is correct, that's going on everywhere. I think the leaderships of New York City have been failing their residents for quite some time. I don't know how many stories this year alone we have done on the police department, on city officials doing the most, stealing from their constituents and the people who have placed in there. But I also think that this is on a federal level as well. I know I can recall the stories of Fred Trump, how he discriminated against Black and brown people. And that's been since the 70s. And then when 47 became a landlord, how he was evicting people by shutting off heat and water. So it is absolutely sad. Our streets are going to be filled with families that can't afford safe places to raise their children. Shelters are going to be full, and that's another thing. Government is shutting down a lot of these services and shelters. So things are going to get really, really ugly and really dirty, and really unsafe here. I think in the next year, I really do believe the housing market is going to implode on itself, because we are living. I don't think we're in the darkest of times yet. It's coming, and New York is probably just the beginning of what we're going to see nationwide.
Thanks, Savannah. Katrina, your thoughts?
That's what I was talking about with the Section 8. They raising the rent, but you're cutting jobs, and the people still making the same amount of money to, conquer or try to compare to paying their rent. If I can't pay the rent without my Section 8, there's no way I'm going to be there. And they have already laid off 300 Black women. They have lost their jobs. So I'm not saying this in the New York area. It's just all the way around. But what I'm saying is the rent is getting higher, but people is not making that much money to pay that rent, and they don't have that many jobs. The ones that have jobs, they getting laid off. So, and then here come the landlord, putting these people on the streets. So I guess that New York streets going to be looking like Washington D.C. with all the homeless people, but Trump moved them out. This is sad on so many levels, and I feel sorry for these people. They got to go through this, and I know the landlord got to do his business or whatsoever to make his money, but and I can't, they can't say that you can stay here for free. That'll be a good landlord, but a lot of them won't because they want money. I just feel sorry for the families that getting thrown out on the street. They ain't making the money that they should be making. The jobs ain't there. And I don't know what these people are going to do. I don't know what all of us going to do. This is sad on so many levels. And Savannah said, this is just the beginning. We haven't seen anything yet. But hopefully we'll have some hope come through. Maybe we can have some changes coming through. But this sad. And like you said, the shelters, the kids ain't safe in the shelters because look what they said. I forgot his name. The little crochet boy did to somebody in the shelters or in these homes. This is weird. This is crazy, and I don't see nothing getting better about it. But that's all I got, Diva.
I will say this. We have to understand though too, and I'm sure everybody on the panel does, but we have to understand on this too that the landlord has bills to pay too. They're not running a charity and you could just live there for free and not pay anything.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Diva. Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
Yeah, they got bills to pay too. So I don't know. I don't know though how, and it's not just a lot of corporations. So when you got this, it's one thing when somebody's renting out maybe their 3-family home or something like that. But when you got these apartment complexes being built up and they throw the word luxury in front of it, they're charging $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It's insanity. And I don't know where that just came about out of nowhere, where you still paying for your water, your heat, your whatever, and your lights, and you paying $3,000 just for the apartment because they got a gym downstairs in the laundry room. I don't know. It's bananas if you ask me. Wayne, your thoughts?
Everybody's not going to be doctors, lawyers, scientists, and all that stuff. You still need other jobs, department stores, wherever managers here, people start their own business. However, it's shameful that you can have 2 people working and relatively maybe a decent job or whatever kind of job. You work making an honest living and you can't afford to live anyplace. I mean, not only ridiculous, it's not fair. Everybody, okay, sure. I'm not saying because whatever salary you make, you deserve to live like somebody that can afford to pay $4,000 or $5,000 a month and have those luxuries. However, I think there should be affordable houses, decent homes. It's just that they've made everything so expensive, and it's just a ripple effect. It affects everybody. But it's just shameful that you could have 2 people working and they can't afford a house or barely afford an apartment. I knew a friend of mine that was paying $1,500 a month for a slip in a motel. They took the motel's rooms and they only were so big, but then divided them up. And $1,500 a month for that. And like somebody said, a shared bathroom. So, it's just ridiculous that you could be working, you're doing everything right. The American dream. And it still ain't working. That's it.
Well, listen, we're gonna stay connected to the Lil Nas story, and to Tyreek Hill. I will say this for all of these mothers: no matter, I don't care how much money that man makes in football. At some point, though, when you got to divvy this thing up, he needs some money to live for himself, and then you got 11 kids and counting. First of all, the kids are going to get shortchanged anyway because he's not going to be in their lives, right? And he can't, there's no way he can do his football and actively be in all of these kids' lives. So the kids are going to get shortchanged. So you got that piece of it right there. And then now you're going to just add the piece that at some point, because of his antics or whatever else, no matter how good he is, this football career is going to end. And then what? Then what are we doing here? It's just super sad to me that, the oldest trick in the book, this is just before when ladies wanted to keep a man, they would get pregnant. Now these ladies are getting pregnant because they want the child support, they want the money, they want the lifestyle. But how unfair is that to the child? You're entering a relationship with a man that already has 9 kids and counting. And you want to marry him for what? Anyway, guys, and just like that one young kid, I forgot his name right now, where everybody was telling him the fiance didn't even really like him like that.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah. They said that girl didn't even really like him like that, but he was in love with her. He married her. And she probably gonna do, let's see how long she doing. Let's see if she even have his kid. Because she just seems shady from the door. Or will she give it a little 17 months or something like that and then, divorce him and take half his money? These men got to wake up. It's sad. And I don't know what the answer is for them. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. Go ahead. I don't know who was trying to say something. Go ahead.
That was me. Yes, everybody told him about this woman. This woman was sitting in the car while he was sitting in the car while she was in there partying with other men. Then she at his wedding, she even wanted to kiss him. And I mean, and now she on there crying. He had to set out for. I think he got. I think he got suspended or something for the first games or practice or something like that because she was saying abuse. But his mom came out and said that he never put his hands on her. But she didn't even know who he was until her brother told her, and that's when she's like, "Ding, moneymaker." And now this woman didn't want to kiss you. She called you ugly. But when you got money, you're not ugly anymore. She played you like a fiddle. And Deion Sanders tried to tell him, but he didn't listen. So we'll see what happened with him. Because this is just ridiculous. Better put everything in his mama name. That's all I got.
So wait, he got suspended because she said he hit her?
Yeah. She was blaming abuse. Yeah. And he got suspended with some practices and stuff like that. And that's when his mom came out and said he never put his hand on her. But yeah. Because I think she was messing with somebody else on the team. She was sleeping with the team members on his team. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's saying about this Alicia Keys. I don't like to talk about, no, we wasn't talking about Alicia Keys. Flip the script. I don't like to talk about stories where I don't have any, at least close proof that it is so. But I've been hearing about that Alicia Keys thing for a while. But if you know me and you follow me, like I'll always have an article. I don't like to just talk about stories and I don't, have some type of evidence to kind of back it up. I haven't seen anything about them since they got married. Maybe people just aren't posting. Yeah, I don't know, Callie. I have to follow that. But only thing I wanted to mention was that she didn't really like him like that. All the other stuff I can't speak to because I don't have it. But she never really liked him like that. Look, okay, wait, Mom Do said, I have children. You have 11 children. My oldest is 41. My baby is 17. I raised all of mine and blessed with 21 grandchildren. Well, God bless you. God bless you. Better talk to the people. Write a book, because that's amazing. God bless you. The oldest is 41 and your baby is 17. I love it. All right, guys, y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way back out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo choo.